Hey everybody, it's jEbUs here from the new Plat, and welcome back to another World of Tanks replay. This time I decided that instead of showing me being an idiot, I thought I'd try to show that kind of know how to play this game. Well, maybe kind of is a bit of a stretch, but every now and then I get off to a good battle and get some good kills in, some good damage, and everything else. This is a battle in one of my favourite premium tanks, the Su-122-44. Great money making tank, and this is one of the first battles I did in it after setting it up to be more of a sniper. Initially when I got it, I basically just drove it around like it was a medium tank, just got up close and personal with as much stuff and clicked and hoped for the best. But after reading a few articles about it and realizing what it's actually good at, I switched out some of the equipment, put binos in, and now try to sit back and snipe, which was working really well when my ping was around 130 to 150 like it is in this replay. But of late, due to the cable cut or damage or whatever it is that's between Perth and Hong Kong, I think, my ping's more like 220 and the long range shots are a bit harder to pull off, particularly when anything's on the move. But never to mind, this replay should hopefully show me getting them in okay. And the East Tier 1 is about to take the first shot from what's a really good gun for a battle of this tier. Up against tier 7s and tier 8s, this tank destroyer just dominates really well. There's even a video on QuickieBaby's channel where someone picks up all 15 kills in the thing. Not that I'm ever going to be able to do that, I'm not that good, but at least in a favourable matchup I can pick up some good damage, as mentioned. That STA1 just bought it. I don't know what he was thinking. But I guess if you look at the calibre of the opposition there, it's pretty tomato. So I only got a couple of tanks to worry about. Not that my team's much better, to be fair. But I guess if you've got a tomato team, sometimes it's easier to defend, sometimes it's not. It's just a lottery really, which kind of sums up a lot of the tanks anyway. The world of tanks, that is, not the individual tanks. And at this part of the battle, it's a little boring. I'm basically hoping that people will spot stuff coming across like the IS-2 and I'll be able to shoot it in the lower plate, just like that. But I'm kind of waiting to see how it develops and who turns up from the opposition where they push from. At this stage it doesn't look like they're going to be pushing across from the northwest, which when I'm attacking I prefer not to do. I prefer to go from the east, that little land bridge that you can see across to the right there. I think if your team's paying attention to where the defenders spawn 1 and 2 and don't waste time going up over the hill, then you can actually get a lot of tanks to that position in sort of F0 really quickly and push across really quickly as well and get them behind on the flank. It doesn't happen often enough for whatever reason, I guess because people don't pay attention to the spawns a lot of the time, and you have tanks spending the first 2 or 3 minutes of the battle, particularly heavy tanks, going for some reason all the way up over the top of the hills, which is just completely pointless, but it happens. And you just have to live with it if you can. In this battle, basically, that IS-2's realised he's in a bad spot, can't do much about him, he can't do much about me. All he can do is kind of peek up from time to time and try and get shots on our guys who are defending just in front of me and to the left, but he's basically stuck now unless he goes a long way around to get back. There's kind of nothing he can do. And seeing there's so many of our team defending that side and they're not really pushing, I figure I might as well come over this side and help our defenders, particularly because they're a bit hard pressed there and they're about to get flanked. So take a position up on this ridge where hopefully I can keep eyes out on anything that's coming that side, but also have nothing interfering for my shots, because there's a lot of cover that comes from that side as well. So if you can get shots off from the ridge, it's probably the easiest way to do it. Didn't quite get a shot on the SU just then, but I should be able to finish them off now, assuming someone else doesn't before I do, and they do. But the rest of the flanking team that's coming now, I'll be able to get side shots on all day, get a lucky shot to set that guy on fire, but he's just no match for this gun anyway. Finish him off just to be sure, and to make sure no one steals my kill. And more side shots here. This is just too easy at the moment. The gun just, it's those kinds of tanks, and the sides of them as well. The gun's just too good, basically. That's the second kill. I'm up to 2,500 odd damage already. It's not a bad day at the office. I'd be pretty happy with this, even if the game finished on me 1. But as you can see, this tank isn't finished yet. There's still a bit more to do. And presumably that Churchill's going to fall pretty quickly. He should have tried to fall back. I guess he couldn't when the flankers were coming through, but he should be trying to now, but he's just going to go down. I'm going to continue to get side shots on anything that does come to try and flank him, but he's dead now anyway, so now I've got to try and deal with all, I guess, 4 of these that are coming through. There's 3 heavies, I think, and 1 medium. That T-43 just goes invisible somehow in front of me. My binos went quite up, and you'll see when I spot him that I just managed to clip him with a shot, which is lucky. It's always a lottery when that happens in the game, when for whatever reason you're looking at them and there's no cover, but they just go invisible. You don't know exactly where they're going to turn up, and that's what I mean by it's a bit of a lottery. That second shot, if I'd been able to keep the spots up, it would have hit them all day every day, but because I wasn't able to. Just see that there's potential for a shot on the side there, rush it, and just bounces off the front of him. And now I've got a bit to deal with here. Loader's taken out, but I put him back in because I need to get a shot off desperately. And then I need to close the distance with this guy because I don't want anything else to come and get me. And I don't want him to fall behind that ridge line, but I guess I don't do it as effectively as I should. And he gets down, bounced luckily off the front of this. So this Su-122-44 is based on the T-44 obviously, so it's actually got reasonably good frontal armour when you've got angles, but I think that was basically just a lucky ricochet, that one. And that one's absorbed by my tracks. Just falling back to hopefully get some better shots, or at least to not take too many from them whilst they can see where I am. They're going to come forward because they kind of don't have anything else to do. He's dropped below the ridge, so I can't get shots at him, but there should be one other one over here somewhere. There he goes. 2 in fact. And side shots again, no trouble for me. Clocking up to 4,500 damage now. Battle's just about coming to a conclusion though, we've only got 2.5 minutes to go, so any more damage at this point is just a bonus and just helps with the money making. Whiff on that shot, not so good, but the T-150's got nothing. Actually getting a little bit low on shells here, so if the game was going to go too much longer than this, I'd have to switch into firing premium more than I am. This one I've just fired because I want to try and get the kill. And don't quite get the kill, but I do set him on fire and do a little bit more damage. And one last kill for the game, clocking up just over 5,800 damage. And I think I've got some end credits to show, so we'll skip to that now. Alright, so there we go, 86,211 silver and 7,480 experience, which was probably a ×5 and a special. I think it was 1,500 base XP, but as you can see, it's a good money maker when you do the damage, and well worth buying if you've got a spare bit of cash kicking around somewhere. It's a good fun tank destroyer to play, and probably one of the best at that tier, at least in terms of premiums anyway. So hope you had fun, and we'll be back with another replay sometime soon.